All right, welcome back to CM's Garage. Today we're doing something a little different. I acquired some World War II RAF flying goggles. They're the Mark IV. And as you can see, they're in fairly good condition. The glass has obviously got some issues in between the layers here, which is pretty cool actually. It adds some cool patina. But unfortunately, when I got these, it's missing this bracket up here that allows this clasp, I guess you would call it, to attach the two sides of the goggles together to make it adjustable to the pilot's face. So what I need to do is remake this bracket, and also I have another nut on order, the adjuster nut that goes on there. I found something similar that looks similar to the original. Unfortunately, finding parts for these is next to impossible, so we're gonna go ahead and recreate that. Right now I just have it zip tied here just to hold it together to keep this leather from ripping. Same here, I just put some wire down at the bottom to kind of keep the two halves together. But yeah, other than that, those parts missing, the straps are in really good shape. Everything is intact there. So these goggles were worn by RAF pilots during World War II. You can also see them in the movie Mad Max, if you remember the gyrocopter pilot. He's wearing them. And then Tom Hardy's character in Dunkirk wears a set too. And that's where I first saw them. So yeah, super cool. They have a really unique look compared to some of the other goggles of World War II. I just like the size of them is super cool. So let's go ahead and get working. We'll do some measurements here. I've got a piece of brass about the same thickness as the bracket that's on there. We'll go ahead and make that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and measure the size of this current piece on here. And we're doing this in metric, so it looks about 6 centimeters. Looks about 1.5 wide. So we got our sheet of brass here. So I'm gonna mark this off. We'll do 6 centimeters, 1.5. Now we'll take our straight edge. We'll take our straight edge and just mark a line here. All right, so now that we've got the bracket marked off, we'll go ahead and cut this out, and then we'll shape a curve to match the look of the current bracket on here. All right, so now that we've got this brass piece cut out, I traced the curve on the existing piece on the goggles to match that curve. So we're gonna put it up to the grinding wheel and grind down that curve, and then also kind of clean up some of these rough edges. All right, so you'll notice the existing piece on here has a slight bend to it. I don't know if you can see that really well, but we're gonna replicate that with our new piece here. We're gonna hold it up here and mark where that bend needs to be. So we got a mark. Now we'll go ahead and put it in the vise and we'll create our bend. Okay, so I've got my bracket made here. I've got a slight bend in it. I've got the 4 holes drilled or marked for the rivets and 1 hole for the threaded screw that's going to go through the back. And I also made a backing plate that will go behind this, and you'll see what I mean here when we go ahead and install it. So let's go ahead and get these holes drilled. Well, we've got a replacement part here. Got all the holes drilled. I've got this screw through the back here. This is our new knurled nut. And then I've got a backing plate, which will help provide support here, because there should be actually 4 holes. There's a piece here that's broken on the goggles. So the backing plate will go behind here where my index finger is, while this will mount in the front, give it a little bit of extra strength to hold this on there. They'll just be for display. They're not going to be worn, obviously, so we don't have to have it perfect, but we want it to hold up. So let's go ahead and dry fit this thing. Get these, I'm using these small nails as my rivets, which are very close to the original rivet heads. You can see there, very similar in appearance and size. I know it's kind of hard to see. So what we're gonna do is we'll put this through here. This will be shortened. As soon as I get that fit, I'll cut that down with the Dremel. But for now, we'll just leave it long. We'll go ahead and set this in the middle, tighten that up, making sure you can still see. So we've got that there. Get our backing plate on here. We're just gonna put our rivets through. And once it all seems to fit well, I'm gonna go ahead and so far we've got 3 in there. Oh, come on, 4th. There you go. I think this is gonna look pretty good. We'll head back out into the garage and I'll show you the paint I plan on using. So right now, you can see behind here, you've got the nails sticking out. Of course, once I get this JB welded in here and the nails in, then I'll go ahead and cut the ends off with the Dremel, smooth that out. But yeah, I like it. I think it's gonna be a nice repair. The rivets are close, very close in size. All right, let's go out. We'll get this piece shortened and we'll start getting it prepped for paint. I didn't go all the way through. I could have, it's aluminum, but I think that's good enough to give it that the 4-hole appearance. We've got our screws shortened, knurl knob spins pretty nicely. I've got the end of the screw rounded off. So now I think we're ready to go ahead and get this painted up. For paint, I've got this ultra flat Krylon camouflage. I think it's that deep brown that I'll be looking for. All right, so let's start getting these goggles assembled. First, I'm gonna put a screw down here and in place. Now, we'll just put a little glue, a little JB Weld behind here, and start putting our rivet pin nails through. All right, now that we've got our JB Weld mixed up, we're gonna put some on the back here. JB Weld is really awesome stuff, especially if you're trying to bond some metal together. It works pretty well. We're gonna get our push our rivets through. You'll see them coming through the back there. And now we're gonna add the backing plate. So I'm gonna put some JB Weld on that. And anytime you're using JB Weld, you always want to have rubbing alcohol handy, because if you get it on your fingers, you can quickly rub it off with rubbing alcohol. Push our pins through there. Now we're going to do our remaining pins. Third one, and we'll line up the fourth. There we go. Yep. So what we'll do is we'll let that dry. Probably overnight. We'll let it sit there, and then once that's all dried, I can go ahead and take my Dremel tool and just trim off the ends of these nails. And then, yeah, we should be good to go. It'll be a nice displayable set of goggles. Well, it's the next day. Our JB Weld is dry. So I'm gonna cut these nails down, the back sides of them, with the Dremel. All right, well, that wraps up the repair on the British RAF Mark IV goggles. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I think they're very, very displayable now. Normally, this strap or cord would be around these headset receivers, but I just don't want to, when you put them around there, it puts a lot of strain on these goggles and the metal, and I just kind of have them loosely sitting on there. So I prefer just to keep it that way. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Come back for the next one.